Do you want to just tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, that sort of thing?
The two artists I kind of represent, you guys posted them on your, anyways, much love and much appreciation, first of all, too. I just want to thank you guys as well. You got these two artists that I'm representing. One of them is the relationship. With one of them is my blood, right? He is my little cousin. And we started to do music back before, like probably early 2000s when we were kids in the basement, just messing around. And we were very into hip hop, right? Hip hop scene and stuff like that. And like the inspirations we used to get, because, we're young. Our mothers, our uncles, our aunties were so into Bollywood kind of thing. So we used to get a lot of inspiration from like, Shah Rukh Khan and stuff like that. So we used to watch these Bollywood movies and Bollywood films, and we get in sort of kind of like a trend of like dancing and singing and stuff like that. So the relationships with one of the artists is my little cousin, and one of them is actually one of my really, really good friends that I've been friends with over 20 plus years, right? So what we tried to do in the beginning, we didn't really want to like, we're like just messing around. And then after like 2 years before, we started trying to take this thing more seriously, and let's see what we can do. Let's see who we can reach. Let's see if we can take it to the next level, right? Because my cousin X Arik X, one of the artists that I represent, my cousin, he was getting really into music, and he was like doing his own videos, recording his own songs, because he used to do it before and outsource it to people, and it wasn't getting like, he was on their schedule, right? And then he came up to me about 2 years ago. He's like, look at my videos, and they're doing pretty good on Instagram. He was getting some sort of traffic, some good traffic, good feedback. So we try to take it serious from there, like 2 years, a year and a half ago. And basically they're like, yo, Nadeem, I want you to manage me. You're really good with, speaking to people. You have a good relationship, you have good energy. Let's see where we can take this, right? So basically what I'm doing is I'm kind of managing them. We're getting shows going. We're starting a website. We're starting merch. So we're just a startup for a year and a half. But the way we're going is it's up, right? So the music video, Yalla Yalla, is good. We have a lot more projects coming out. So basically, I'm behind them and just helping them out. New to it, definitely, but I'm loving it, and it's becoming organic, right? There's so much love behind it, and we have a great relationship, us three. So
So, like you said, this is something that's very new to you. It's not that you have experience in this area and then you're taking on your little cousin. It's that it's something that's very much a new experience. Like your first time doing this is with your family, which I suppose is nice. So who are you looking to when you're like trying to know what to do? Because I can imagine it can be quite daunting, obviously, entering the music industry and not necessarily having those like connections per se, or like knowing exactly how to go by the book sort of thing. So like how are you making your way through this industry?
honestly, very organic. Like in the beginning, like we look for inspirations, like different artists that are doing it, right? Uh, First, it's like we want to do a different, not a different kind of genre in the music. Like we see like hip hop was kind of the root, and then we're seeing like kind of like an Afro thing going on, right? So we're kind of doing like an Afro swing type of music, right? And trying to sound a little different, right? And just looking towards people, and like just trying to do it very organically, right? That's our main goal. Like we're having fun with it. Obviously, it's new to us now for the last year and a half. But my cousin and my family and I have been doing music before. We always have the love for the music. So, when we look like I was going back to like inspiration, like with Russ and these type of people are independent, right? And we want to kind of cater to our audience, right? Build a fan base, cater to that audience, and give what the audience want. Nurture our audience the most possible as we can, right? So we are starting a fan base. Xarik X is very big in Nigeria. He gets a lot of likes, a lot of follows. We're using that momentum as well. G Harmony, the other artist on the track, he has a big fan base in Toronto. He has a lot of music coming up. So we're just trying to build this fan base and cater directly to these fan bases, right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that sounds like the way to go about it. Obviously, if you're going to be putting out music that is tailored to the people that are supporting you, then can't really go wrong, because there should be that kind of mutual relationship of you put out music, they enjoy it inevitably. Do you like look to other South Asian success stories when you're thinking about this? Obviously, you've said that you've been doing music like since the early 2000s, which is um, like 20 odd years, so that's a long period of time, and there obviously
Yeah.
were success stories back then as well, but particularly in the past 5 years or so, we've seen the likes of obviously the late Sidhu Musiala, AP Dillon, literally probably the biggest South, or one of the biggest South Asian names in music right now, and they've made their journey through Canada. So do you see that sort of like something to like look up to and to follow in similar footsteps?
100%. So we have one artist in Canada that is from the Southeast Asian community. There's some underground. There's some people that are actually, really, really famous, like Nav. I don't know
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
heard about Nav as well. He's from Toronto. He's with OVO as well, right? So I think he's with OVO if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he's very inspirational as well, right? He's been doing it for a while. He produced, and now he's an artist. He's doing it. So looking towards him, but no one actually blew up like, let's just say, like Drake, The Weeknd, and stuff like that in Montreal. Like in Toronto, obviously the scene is there, but we want to create our own lane, nurture everything. But we do get inspiration from these type of people, because at the end of the day, it's all love, it's all organic, and we want to just push forward. And if they can do it, for sure, we can do it as well. That's how we look at it as well. As long as you put your head down and grind, and yeah, we should be able to take it to the next level, and everything's going well.
You said just now about how like these like people like Drake, The Weeknd, for example, Canadian talent, they're not necessarily blowing up when they're still in Canada. Like, why do you think that is?
I think with Canada, one thing would be is the population. Like, let's be serious. It's about 30 million people. We have big land, let's just say, but it's half of it is ice and half of it is like, I think like 60% of the population of Canada, I think more lives below like like there's like a threshold, right? So I guess the population is one, right? Not getting more traffic as well. Musically, maybe it's more like in the past was more country, and hip hop was kind of like a hard breakthrough. Obviously, with Drake and The Weeknd coming through and showing their talent and stuff like that, that kind of opened big doors for us, right? Big doors for any artists that want to do it. It gives them inspiration, right? So I think maybe the population is one of the main concerns. Maybe there's not a lot of traffic, and now we live in a new age, right? Back then, I don't think people blew up as much as because the internet wasn't a big thing, right? Now you let's just say the population of the world is 7 billion people, right? If we just want to turn 1,000 people to like us and become hardcore fans, that's our business model. That's our model that we want to aim for, right? And at the end of the day, if it doesn't work out, we won't mind because we love doing it. We love to curate to our audience at the end of the day, right? So I think back then, internet was an issue, the population was an issue. Now it's just, if you want to make a song, you can do it yourself. You can YouTube it. You can find advice. You can link with people with fiber. So information is way more knowledgeable and way more easy to get, right? So I think that kind of blocks Canada in the past as well. I guess everybody, and also the population, definitely it's not as big as traffic as the United States or Europe as well. So I think those will be the main concern of why we in the past Canada hasn't blew up as it should be blowing up, because we have a lot of talent, and our country is made out of Southeast Asians. Like, we have a lot of Southeast Asians, Sri Lankans, Bengalis, you know Indonesians, and a bunch more Indians, Gujaratis, a bunch.
For sure, yeah. I mean, it's since we started doing this show, even I think when we started doing it, that was the point at which Sidhu and AP Dillon were proper starting to take off. But even aside from them, we've seen over the past like 3 or so years, like so much like South Asian talent that has come from Canada, particularly I would say eastern side of Canada as well. I'm not sure if that's probably something to do with the migration patterns, but there is definitely that like sense of community there, 100%.
I think Toronto is like out of the world. It's like the top 5 cities with the most multicultural and stuff like that. I was watching the clip on YouTube, and I think New York City is number one. Actually, second place is Toronto, Ontario. Like there is a lot of culture there as well, right? When Montreal, there is culture. Don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of more European-based culture. But now we're starting to see a lot more Indian culture, a lot more Bengali culture coming up right now. So maybe it's just the movement that's happening as well, and also in the West, right? Like you're mentioning, in the East, there's a lot more diversity and more Southeast. But now I lived in Alberta back in 2014, 2015. That's a province in Canada. It's more out west near British Columbia. I'm not quite sure if you know, but when I moved there, it was more of a blue collar and stuff like that. But slowly, it was getting to like a lot of Sikhs were moving in, a lot of Punjabis moving in, and it's a big community. When one family moves in, everybody starts moving in and starts helping each other. So now in the West, we're gonna see a very big spike of Southeast Asian, and I see it for myself as well.
For sure, yeah. I think in a lot of Western society, we are seeing that, which is a good thing, obviously, is becoming more and more diverse in places that maybe weren't 10, 20 years ago. So definitely, hopefully, it's creating new experiences and opportunities for those communities.
Yeah.
You said before, obviously, about how like the internet is a positive thing in that obviously it's so much easier now to just make music, find other artists to collaborate with, learn how to do it, all of that, and put out songs. Obviously streaming has made that so much easier.
Mhm.
But then on the other side of things, you have the fact that because everyone can do it, everyone can do it.
Mhm.
So it's
Mhm.
almost
Saturation, yeah.
it can be oversaturated. So like with you and your artists, obviously you've said about how you're trying to like kind of tailor it to what you know your fans like, and you're kind of taking on the hip hop influence, but kind of switching it up a little bit with that South Asian influence. But what would you say is that kind of sets aside what you and your artists are doing from the masses?
For sure, like a lot of people are doing it, right? 100%. Like I do agree on that. But like I'm not trying to be mean or anything. Most of sometimes like your stuff has to sound good, right? At the end of the day, you have to reach people. So let's just say we send out a song and we get horrible reactions, you know what I mean? Yes, it will demotivate you and stuff like that. But the songs that we're putting out, the things that we're doing, it's getting a good reaction. So it doesn't give us, like, obviously in life there's obstacles and you have to jump over these obstacles, XYZ and stuff like that, definitely. But when we're putting out these projects and these songs and we're putting out videos, like we're doing it organically and we're getting great reactions, not only from friends, from people around the world, right? So obviously there's going to be a big saturation in the market. Everyone's doing it super easy. The other side of it, it's competition, but it drives us to be the dog. It drives us to get better at stuff, right? Obviously, it's kind of hard to be original, right? But we try to find that originality in this whole zoo that's going on right now, right? And we try to make it organically, and just the love of the music. At the end of the day, just have to listen to the love of the music, and if you have the love of the music, you know your energy can't stop it. Like it's just like I keep saying this word, but it's very organic, right? So uh from that saturation and stuff like that, we love the competition, right? We embrace it, right? We want to bring everybody up also as well. If people want to work together, let's work together, but we're always down for friendly competition. We're down to help each other out and stuff like that. So obviously your music can't be too, like, it has to cater to an artist, but like there's music for everybody. But you can't just not try. You have to try. You have to put in work. This industry is like, if you can do it for 10 years and not do anything. You can do it for 20 years and then make it, right? We understand that grind. We understand that potential, and every project that we put up, we try to get better and better and better, and critique it as well to get better and better. We love construction feedback, like constructive feedback as well.
For sure, yeah, I think that's a really good way to look at it as well, and to also like just realize that like competition is something to like thrive from, and it doesn't have to be antagonistic. Like it doesn't have to be a bad thing or a beef in any way. It just is like something to like kind of like come off each other sort of thing, and like grow like separately and together.
For sure.
So, probably last couple of questions now. What is the goal for you guys then? Like, if you could like pan out the next like 5, 10 years, however long, where would you like to see yourself and your artists?
So realistically, obviously, we want to change the world with music, right? We want to touch people's ears. We want to change people's lives. We want to definitely get to that high point where we can actually do shows and get paid for doing what we love to do. You know, spread love, spread music, and stuff like that. It's 100%. We want to get that done, right? But like I said, back to our model that we want to say, we want to touch out of 7 billion people. Maybe we want to touch 1,000 people that are actually loyal fans and stuff like that. Like listening to Russ, listening to these independent artists, that's what they do. They curate to their fans and, work on that as well. And then maybe in the future, fingers crossed, it might hit 1 million followers, 2 million followers that are diehard fans, at the end of the day, right? And show them who we really are, right? Show the art, introduce you to the artists and show them who they really are. They're people just like me and you, right? At the end of the day, right? So keep it organic. Obviously, main goal is to definitely do shows around the world. Maybe one day go to Europe, which come to the radio show face to face, whatever the case is. But our small goals right now, just moving the goal line, would be definitely curate to get a core fan base, which is actually happening right now. We're seeing movements and stuff like that. Merch is coming out. We have videos coming out, songs coming out. So definitely a lot of work coming out, and we're very excited.
Do you and your group, your artists, your roster, etc., do you have a name? Like, does the organization have a name, or are you purely representing the artists like individually?
So the name that we want to come up with, well, the game we came up with, it came automatically in the song, and it's called the Coalition, right? So we're the Coalition. So it kind of stands for a team, like an army, like we are like a brotherhood, right? The Coalition. So that's what the name we decided. The production team that we're starting is called MVP. So it starts for Metro Vision Productions. So we're gonna start doing like a website's gonna launch soon, actually in the next couple of weeks. Merch is gonna be on that website, and we're gonna even cater to everybody that's Southeast Asian as well, or anybody that wants to put their work on our platform, so we can reach more people, like videography work. We're going to record artists as well. So we want to start that movement. And within the next 5 years, this is definitely going to happen. It's not if, it's going to be when it's going to happen. So definitely going to see a lot of movement from us. We're going to keep working, putting our head down and grind. We have the courage. We have the competition edge. We have everything. Like, we are going to get these things done.
Nice. I think that's definitely like such like an optimistic way to look at things, and that's the way you're never going to get anywhere if you're looking at things pessimistically and just being like, okay, maybe it'll happen, giving it a half-hearted attitude. 100%. So if people do want to keep up to date with yourself, your artist, the Coalition, MVP, where's the best place for them to find you?
On their Instagram pages, it's going to be at XAriqX. I don't know if you want to spell it out. So it'll be X, like those are X, ARIQ, and then X. And then my other artist would be G Harmony. So it'll be at G_Harmony, HARMONEY. We are starting an Instagram page soon with the website. We don't want to start it now. We want to start with the website as well. So the website is coming out. As soon as that happens, maybe, I'll reach out to you if you can repost it on your wall. It'll be much appreciated so we can drive traffic. But for now, those two artists, XAriqX and G Harmony, you can find all our works, reels, stuff like that. So we're dropping content nonstop. And there's a lot to come, like a lot. We already have projects ready. G Harmony is dropping a song in October. It's called Money Talks. XAriqX has like 2 or 3 songs that we're going to be dropping in next month. Videos are coming out. So we have a lot of work in the play and a lot of work in the vault, and we're ready to attack.
Amazing. Definitely looking forward to it. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me today. It's been a pleasure, and hopefully see music from your artists very soon.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for having the show. Thanks for the love. Thanks for anybody that shows love, like, shares, comments, anything. Even if it's negative, we like it. You know what I mean? Let's go, right? coalition to the top.